Get a record going. And we will get going here in a moment. Okay, so let's. All right, so hope you guys have had a good week going on. It's, this topic is one that I've looked at and I keep looking at all the time because, new platforms come and go and we look at them and we go, oh, wow, let's try that, and then maybe we should be using this, maybe we should be using that. Problem is we sort of get into the social media du jour, if you will, whatever the hot topic is, whatever people are talking about, but yeah, we get spread out. So then we can't effectively utilize any of them. So it's one of the reasons I wanted to do this because like I said, there's some new platforms available right now. TikTok is the one we're really going to talk about. For some of you, it may be a really valuable tool. For others, it may not be. But that's really what we want to talk about is some of the value, and just so you can make an informed decision. The other thing that happens is the other thing we're going to talk about is when you think in terms of existing platforms, primarily LinkedIn, Facebook. Facebook is one we're going to talk about today as well. The value of Facebook posting and from a return on investment standpoint has decreased as we all know over the years. But there are some strategies that seem to be working for a lot of people. And so that's one of the things we want to talk about is maybe we still want to continue using Facebook because there's some connections there that can be made. There's still a lot of people on the platform, but the visibility and what Facebook shares and makes shows through the algorithm is what's hurt. And so we're going to talk about that as well. So let me share my screen and we will jump in here. Okay. All right. So new platforms and new strategies. Before we start, I want to give you a warning. Less is more. That's kind of what I was saying in the beginning, is that we really want to look at what are out there, and we want to pick out the 2, 3, maybe 5, 3 to 5, I think is the sweet spot. Most people say about social media platforms that you can utilize and be effective. More than that, you're probably going to water down your overall approach. You want to evaluate all of the platforms that are there. Just because you've got something that's working now, or maybe think working, maybe there's something that works better and we don't know about it. So that's one of the reasons we really want to evaluate all the platforms, compare new ones to current platforms, and see what's out there. So look at what are the benefits of one, what's the audience, what's the engagement rates, what type of posts work. Evaluate new and old platforms against those criteria so that you can see, what the right mix for you is. And then at that point, you want to analyze for return on investment. And that may not be, we may not be talking about monetary investment, but we're talking about investment in time. And in essence, that's, and a lot of times that's more valuable than the money aspect of it. Use what's working, eliminate what's not. So if you find that and you might want to do trial tests, you may want to do a short analysis of a new platform and see what do you think is, if it works, to see if you think that it is a potential for you. And if so, eliminate something else. So let's talk about TikTok. We hear about TikTok all the time. We see TikToks being shared all over social media. And so what is it? Where's the value? What is it? Is there a value for us as business people to utilize for marketing standpoint? The age range does skew young. I think I think 50% of them of TikTok is under the age of 34. So, but again, it's like everything else. So was Instagram, and now Instagram has grown into a platform for anyone from basically up into the 50s and in 60s, even maybe into the 70s, because it's an easy platform to use. So we're beginning to, we're beginning to see the age range skew higher, as it begins to creep up anyway. So that's the reason we want to kind of look at it. And maybe today is not the best day to be to be part of it, but 6 months from now, a year from now, maybe the value and the age range and the demographic you have may be there. It has over 2 billion downloads. The app has been downloaded over 2 billion times, and it has over 1 billion with a B monthly active users, 100 million in the US alone. So there again, it's the fastest growing. It was the fastest growing download app that ever. So the aspect of what the people that are checking it out. And it goes back to that entertainment factor. That's really what TikTok is about. It's entertaining, and people want to watch it for the funny videos and the dance challenges and all that kind of thing. And that's what we think of it as. But by the same token, from a business standpoint, if you create a video, high energy type of a video that that relates to your business, that has some, at least holds people's attention, then that's why brands are beginning to utilize this. March of 2020 was a number that I saw recently, and I'm sure this is up now, but the average user in the United States was spending over 14 hours a month on TikTok. And then another factor with TikTok is the cost of creation is super low. Really, it's organic content. So everybody has a phone, everybody has a smartphone, everybody is able to shoot video. So that's why it doesn't have to be a a high production type of a deal. That's really what people they're more interested in, the video shot with your phone aspect. And it has to be vertical video. Listening to a TikTok expert recently, and she's actually something an advisory board for TikTok. So kind of really understands the ins and outs of it. But she said the best tool, the best way to shoot video is your phone. She said the phone gives you a far superior, a excellent quality picture, and actually makes you look better than a big camera setup. So TikTok's on the rise. The watch time on TikTok videos has exceeded both Facebook and YouTube. And watch time is really the key to success, because the more people that watch, then the better TikTok shows your videos to what's called the For You page. And most watchers, unlike social media sites, most watchers listen with the volume fully up in TikTok, where in Facebook and Instagram, it's the other way around. The volume is down. Consumers are more likely to trust mobile video. So it's that aspect that that there's a trust factor involved in the, videos that are shot rather than professionally produced. They like that the mobile video has a lot more trust factor. Organic reach is almost guaranteed because of what's called the For You page in TikTok. So when you sign into TikTok, you've got your regular news feed, which is the people that you're following, but then there's a page called For You. And as you watch certain videos, as you engage with certain pieces of content, then the algorithm then sees what you're looking at and tries to then build this For You page around that content. Now, the cool thing is that content that's people are picking up on the For You page are typically not from sites they're following. They may start following after they watch the video or after they see some of the content that's there, but they typically, but typically it's non-followers. So this is why one of the things that brand marketers are looking at from a standpoint of this is a way we can get a reach without having to go connect with people. We put out videos that resonate with what they're looking for, and they'll end up seeing our stuff. So that's really what the For You page is about. It's based on your time on the platform, your location, and the type of videos that you watch. So when we talk about content, 87% of videos have at least one hashtag. So obviously TikTok is all video. So there's no content post, there's no text post, it's all video. Having the hashtag, again, it is again a way to organize content into a keyword. So you want to have at least one hashtag in a post. The best performing brands post 3 to 5 times or 3.5 times a week. So again, consistency. It's such a fast pace that a lot of times your post can degrade or disappear over time. Funny videos and content with humorous elements outperform all other types. Again, we go back to the idea of the entertainment side of things. So we have to think in terms of if we're going to utilize TikTok, we have to think in terms of how can we entertain but educate at the same time. Videos with added music generate a lot more traction, especially if it's upbeat type of tunes. And then creative videos with animation and graphics tend to draw over 11 million views per post. So the aspect of the video with either animation or some kind of graphics tend to really do well in TikTok. So to start, it's pretty simple. You go to TikTok. You can either do it on your phone, you can do it on a desktop, and their desktop application is getting better, but most everything is, a lot of it's still done from the phone. But you start by just creating putting in your information, and TikTok will then automatically generate a username, but you can change it. So a lot of times the username that it creates is a user 4578395, some numeric sequence that means nothing. So you always want to check and make sure that your username that you can change and make that username something that pertains to you, so that's a better identifies you, or that you're easier to share. Like Instagram, it's @ and then your username following it. It's best to use your name or your business name. So try to utilize your name, or you can use your business name or some combination. I think you have 30 characters in there, so it's not a lot, but you want to try to get something again it's easy to recognize and easy to follow. The next thing is you want to set up a profile name, and this needs to be optimized for search. So for example, my profile name could be Gary Wagnon, or it could be Gary Ninja Marketer, 800 Biz Ninja Marketer, something like that. It could be Gary Chief Ninja Marketing, Chief Ninja Marketer. I think that's the way I have mine, because it sort of gives you a little bit of a descriptor to say who you are and what you do. So when you plug that in, you still get the name, but you also get, a little bit of a descriptor. Your profile picture, it needs to be inviting. It needs to be welcoming. It needs to be you smiling, your face, and you need to make the picture. It needs to be a square. So when you're creating that graphic, make sure that picture is a square, and not, horizontal or vertical. So it fits best in a square setting. At least 20 pixels, but the bigger the better. So probably in the, a 200 to 300 square is probably going to be a decent size for that. You also want to add a description of what you do. And again, you only have 80 characters, so it's very, very limited. So it's like Instagram. If you've got an Instagram profile, you know that you only have, you don't have time to spell out a full sentence. So it's more or less bullet points, or a short phrase of what you do. So make sure that you try to get that descriptor in there. Videos up to 60 seconds. You can do a video up to 60 seconds if it's recorded on TikTok. I have seen something where they've upped some things to 3 minutes, but I was trying to find exactly the parameters for that. I don't know if it's a business account or if it has to be a certain number of followers. So I'll follow up on that and see, but I know you can do 60 seconds if you upload it directly into the TikTok app, as opposed to recording it on your own and uploading it. So you have some better, but their editor is pretty good. From everything I've seen about it, the video editor in TikTok is pretty, it's pretty good. Does a pretty good job. If you are going to like and follow people, which is again what you want to do, is to try to build those relationships. Up to 500 videos, you can like up to 500 videos a day and up to 200 followers a day. That's a lot. So if you don't have anything else to do and you want to sit there and watch videos on TikTok all day long, well, just watch it. Only watch 500. Don't watch anymore. And they do have a business account. And one of the things the business account does, as always, there are benefits to it. One of the things the business account does is it allows you to link to a website. So you can plug your website into your profile, and that helps drive traffic back to you. So some tips on using TikTok. Use your face in the video. It helps people tell your videos from someone else's. It's that brand awareness. Videos with your face in there is always going to be better than something that you shoot, whether it be an animation or something else, without your picture in there. So always have your photo in there. Connect on the first frame or you're out. You never want to start with any dead air in TikTok. And the expert that I was watching, she actually does her videos with almost cutting off the first letter or so of the video. So she starts abruptly, even if it's like, if she's starting to say, for example, connect on the first frame, it might be connect on the first frame because it looks like it looks like it's already started. So she gets your attention immediately. And that's what the whole thing is. We used to hear about websites, you got 5 to 7 seconds before, when somebody sees your site, before they click off of it. Not here. First frame, got to catch them, got to hook them, or you're out. Every video needs a title. It needs to be a straightforward title that people can look at and decide if they want to watch or not. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to make that content bingeable and easy to consume. So you got to get their attention. You got to get them to click on it with the title, but if they're searching for it, but it needs to, so it needs to have a title that really cuts through the noise and gets them to want to check you out. And then tell your story. That's one of the things you want to do with TikTok is use it to tell your story. Use it to identify your voice. It's the, it's your personal connection. Uh, and don't be afraid to utilize it to let people know who you are, what you do, what you're passionate about, what your company mission is about. So keep that in mind. Um, it's the connection starter that really lets you then take it offline to where you can create a stronger personal relationship within your offline channels. A couple more tips: no dead air. Don't have any long pauses. Don't have any, if you're changing scenes or if you're doing anything, they need to be instantaneous. And it's really, we think in terms of a flow of, like this video, as it flows and I stop and pause and, and things like that. TikTok is nonstop. So it should be going continually. So you don't want to create any pauses in there. Great for step-by-step tutorials. Like I said, there are up to 3 minutes in some scenarios. And so, but it needs to be a fast tutorial on. One of the examples this girl was using when I watched the video was, what are NFTs, and how do you utilize them, and in a 3-minute TikTok video talking about NFTs. So it's pretty, it can be a pretty, you think that's not the audience, but there again, she finds really effective use out of it. Give an action suggestion in the video. So don't hesitate to caption, contact me for more information, call for, schedule an appointment, visit my website, whatever it might be, but utilize a call to action, because that's, the entertainment factor is going to be there, but then you need them to move to a point of converting to a business, to do business. Captions in your video, even though people are listening with the audio on, for the most part, the captions sort of enhance that. It gives you the ability to, to also, and that helps too, from a standpoint of maybe if you're, it helps people understand, maybe your dialect. Maybe not everybody speaks Southern like I do. So maybe, when I use certain phrases, doesn't make sense, but if you read it, you go, oh, okay, I got that. Slower speech, faster speech. Those are things that are beneficial from when you use caption, because then it helps tie that back in. Some follow suggestions on TikTok. Follow accounts in your space or in your niche. Those are accounts that are going to be probably posting similar content to what you do, and so you want to see what they have, and then kind of follow along with what their content is. You'll see the type of content they're creating, how they're utilizing it, and you're able to then keep track of and do the same thing. Your following count is most important. So you always want to, the more people you have following you, if you create something, people look at that and they go, well, they got nobody following them, they're probably not any good, as opposed to, well, they've got 1,000 followers. Watch for upcoming trends. Those are the topics that are going to get the most action. So if you can tie to a upcoming trend, you have to be quick on those, though. Upcoming trends come and go. 3 to 5 days, it's buried. If you're 3 or 5 days later behind a trend, then there's a good chance it's already been pretty saturated, and you're going to have a hard time showing up in there. Use relevant hashtags for your videos. Again, make it searchable. So those are just some of the features on TikTok and some of the things that you can utilize. And if it seems like something that's worth playing with, give it a shot. Set up a profile, just, lurk around and see what other people are doing. See if you find anything that pertains or that is relative to what you're doing, and then utilize that. Give it a try. LinkedIn new features. I've covered this before, but I did want to cover it again because I know a lot of people missed it. And I did a training yesterday with a group from one of the real estate companies, escrow office actually, and we were talking about the profile on LinkedIn and all of that. But one of the people in the meeting was pretty active on LinkedIn, and I said, "Okay, so do you have the new story feature, LinkedIn cover story feature?" And she went, "What?" And I went, "Yeah." And so that's why I want to kind of go back over this. You might, if you've seen it, great. You've already hopefully you've done this. If you haven't done it yet, then I'll give you something you can get on it from here. But we'll start with the creator mode. And the creator mode is a new feature that lets you, it adds a lot of stuff to your page, that several things that are really, really important. So when you go to your dashboard, you probably will see something like this. And there'll be a spot in here that says creator mode, and it'll say on or off. You want to turn it on because it's going to give you some, like I said, some really cool features. So turn on creator mode, and oh, something popped up behind here and didn't show. The first thing in there is the cover story, the LinkedIn cover story. What this is a 30-second video that it introduces yourself and really gives your client an insight into who you are. So it's sort of a welcoming message. It's an intro, a welcoming message about you. And I'll show you where it is. It replaces your little cover, your little photo in the circle on your profile with a video. So it's pretty cool, and it's really simple to do. It's visible on mobile or desktop, either way. And if you have the cover story enabled, that feature enabled, then you can see another person's cover story. If you don't have it, you won't be able to see it. So another reason to do that. And you can create the video using mobile or desktop, but to edit it or upload it, you have to use the mobile app. So if you don't have the LinkedIn mobile app, you want to download that, and then that lets you upload this little video. But it's, I've got mine done, so it's pretty cool. And I'll show you where it is here in a moment. A couple of other things creator mode does. It changes the connection button to follow. So followers are one-way connections. So it allows people to follow you without having to do the two-way connection. Now that's good and bad. It's ideal if you're trying to establish authority. You're trying to get people to recognize who you are and to see your content. But if you're trying to grow a network, build referrals and that type of thing, it's not so good for that. But the follow button does make it easy for people to to grow your connections and people to see the content you're putting out. You can showcase up to 5 hashtags that let people know what you're going to be posting about in your activity, and it also shows up on the intro card. There's a little intro card that lets people know what you're going to be talking about. So you want to identify those hashtags of your content, and I'll show you mine again in a moment. So to show you what I do with it. You have a featured and an activity section that appears at the top. So they've restructured it so that those featured and activity sections are the first thing people see when they come to your profile. And then actually gives you the ability to showcase more content in the activity section. So there's a lot of cool stuff that it does when it restructures you. So here's my profile, and you'll see here's the circle, and now it's got this little orangey circle around it. That means it is a LinkedIn cover story. So when you click that, it's a message that says, Hi, I'm Gary Wagnon. I help small businesses improve their return on investment with website design, SEO, and social media. So I kind of use my title section there to tie into that. So you want to definitely give that a thought, give that a try, because that's really important. That's really cool. Great branding. Oops, shouldn't have done that. So here are the topics that I talk about, the 5 topics, hashtags that I use. So you'll see that I have web design, video marketing, ninja marketing, social media marketing, and small business marketing. So the ninja marketing gives me my brand, and that is, so it's not a bad idea to include your brand hashtag in one of those. It is, that's a topic that helps get people to, ideally what you want is somebody to follow your hashtag, with the content, so that every time you post content, they see your content shows up because they're interested in that. So that's why these hashtags are important. Again, it's the aggregator or the organizer, if you will, for your content, so that people that want to follow that content will be notified when you post something new. There's also a new services page. You can create a dedicated service page that's accessible within your intro card. So it explains what your business is all about. What do you do? What do you do for your client? What are the things that are important? What's the value and the benefits that you offer? It is also searchable, not just in LinkedIn, but also in search engines. So this is a place where you can have content that will be found by Google and the other search engines, and help drive traffic. I monitor, I do the social media posts for a financial planner, and they're so regulated that they can't create any content without it being cleared through a compliance department, all that. So what we do is we use curated content. I'll find content from a lot of different sources and post that to their pages. I have been finding more and more articles showing up in the service that I use from LinkedIn. So they're articles written and posted inside of LinkedIn that show up in the searches. So that's a really, it's really important that you start building that repertoire, if you will, of content about your business that helps, that becomes searchable. And by the way, if you're looking for content, if you're looking for a service like that, I use a service called Up Content. And what it does is it lets you sign in. I think for free, you get 3 keywords, maybe 5. I can't remember exactly. I think it's 3. You can pay for it as well, but it gives you a really good source of content that for resources that you may want to post other places. So Up Content, it used to be built into LinkedIn. They took it out. No, I'm sorry. It was not linked. It was in Hootsuite. Sorry. It was in Hootsuite, a piece of that, and they took it out. So I had to find another way to do that. And actually I abandoned Hootsuite. For those of you that might be, have heard me talk about that in the past, I abandoned that when they went from $9 a month to $75 a month. So I have another service that I use now called Publer, Publer. Another topic for another day. Anyone can message you free about your services. So they don't have to use the end message on your services. If they want to ask you a question, then they can do that directly through the services page. And then all you have to do is click the Open To button, excuse me, on your intro card. and that will take you to the services page, or to create your services page. LinkedIn also has a newsletter. I keep watching for it. They keep they're slowly rolling it out. But if you have a strong network and you want to keep in touch with them via a newsletter, then this gives you a way to do that. I haven't seen it yet. I've got documents, but I don't have newsletters, so I keep watching for it. But it's again, a nice way to have your content delivered. They don't have to be members. They don't have to be friends or connections with you. Anyone can read and discover and share your newsletter. All they got, and they can subscribe to it. So it, again, great way to build your brand and your recognition there. LinkedIn Documents, it increases the time that people spend on your site. So this is where you can actually create an article or a document that has that people can publicly read, and it's one of LinkedIn's measurements for their algorithm is the time people spend engaged with your site. The algorithm prioritizes relevant content and promotes engagement. And then documents are uploaded as PDFs. So, but when you do that, if you've got a multi-page document, you upload it as a PDF, it'll turn into a slideshow. So we go back to the day when we used to have the old program SlideShare, and you could create basically a PowerPoint presentation. Well, now all you have to do is upload a PDF, and it turns it into a slideshow, so that when people see your content on your activities, they can scroll right through your whole presentation there in your newsfeed. And then they obviously stand out because of the way that they're done. You can see them better. And another suggestion is repurpose a blog post into a PDF. So if you're doing a blog, output the blog or the content of the blog into a PDF format, and then upload it to your documents. One other thing with LinkedIn is connection requests. You can invite up to 100 people a week to connect with you on LinkedIn. If you have outstanding invites or people rejected, your invitation, then that number may be impacted. So if you had, if you invited 100 people to connect, and you've got 25 that are outstanding, then the next week rolls around, you won't be able to invite but 75 because you got 25 outstanding. So you might have to go back through and monitor those and make sure if you've got outstandings and that haven't responded in a while, then you delete them and add more people. As usual with a connection, you always want to personalize the message to the people that you don't know. Review your profile to personalize, and I've done a whole series on that before about how do you reach those people and through their profiles. I already talked about that. So unaccepted requests you can remove. All right, then for the last section here, I want to talk a little bit about Facebook strategies. There's still a good chance your audience is using Facebook regularly. Facebook is very visual, so people engage with visual posts. So it's not enough to just post a post text, but it needs to have visuals associated with it, and that's what the algorithm wants. That's what Facebook wants, is a visual post. Pictures, images, videos, graphics, whatever it might be, infographics, anything like that. So let's talk about link posts. So a link post is any post that includes a link within the caption. that will take them to a particular spot, either on Facebook or your website. So it's content. You find a really good article, you write a blog post, whatever it is, and you post a link into your Facebook page to drive people to it. The Facebook algorithm suppresses these in the newsfeed. So they don't like that. You're taking clicks away from Facebook when you send people to someplace else. So they don't really like it, which, so that's so that's one of the reasons you want to use it sparingly. But let's say you've got an outside news source. Let's say you got a really good article that you read, could be your own blog, could be whatever. One of the ways that you can get this to show up better is to drive the link down with longer captions, so that people have to get to a see more. So you put enough content above that then Facebook automatically goes, okay, let's put on the see more link, and then people can open it up and see the rest. Well, if you have your link down below the see more, now it's not affecting Facebook quite so much. They don't look at it the same way. And so it's liable to show up better. So for outside news sources where you're not particularly, you don't necessarily need them to click on it, it's not an upcoming event or not something important, you're using it just for content, but not necessarily for something they need to see, then that's one solution for that. But if it is like an event that you want people to click on, so you want that link above the fold, what you want to do is you want to stop Facebook from using the open graph info to populate the post. Okay, so what do I mean by that? You've shared a post. There's an image in your post. Let's say it's your blog. You share your blog post in, and you've got a picture in there. Well, as soon as you share it in there, Facebook looks at it, and then they grab the picture and they post the picture in the in the post in the news feed. They show your picture with the link and the title of the article, and that makes it live. Okay, but again, you're taking people away from Facebook, so they don't really like it. So one of the things you do is when you go in there and use that, have that image separated. So I know you posted it in your blog, but have it separated where you go in there and you write your caption and you upload the image yourself, and then place the link in the caption. So if you've already got something in there, if you already got a picture in there, then Facebook won't activate the open graph and put another picture in. You got a picture already in there. Now you can put your link below, and now it's a visual post. It's an image post, which Facebook likes, and the post has a better chance of being seen in the algorithm. So that's one way you get around sharing your content into a Facebook link post. But you still want to avoid trying to do that very often, because if you do it a lot, it's going to be a good way to really kill the page reach for your site, for your Facebook page. Another really effective tool is the Facebook text-based post, where it generates a color background. And you've seen those, they're all over the news feed, but they're great for fast engagement. You need to make sure that you're keeping the text short enough that it doesn't generate, that it doesn't drop out of the color box and go down to just a normal post and generate a see more link and all that. But you want to do that with it, like fill in the blanks or true false results. Those get a lot of comments. So, anything any question that you can do, that's really what you're trying to, what most works best. Watching one of the publications that I watch all the time, and I'm actually a part of their society, membership society, and all that kind of stuff, is they almost were abandoning Facebook completely because they were seeing so little results. And they finally stumbled upon this, utilizing this type of strategy. And they saw a huge turnaround in their engagement. So this is probably one of the best things you can do from an engagement standpoint. Oops. Next thing you want to do is the other thing is videos. And you guys that have been on my webinars before, I always preach video, long form video, 3 minutes or more. They perform better than the shorter videos in Facebook. So if you're going to do a video, 3 to 5 minutes, 5 minutes or longer seem to perform even better. So if you're going to create a video, create a 5-minute video. That's the best way to do that. Make sure to include a clear call to action in the video. Put it in the video itself as well as in the caption. So maybe make tell people what you want them to do. Go to my website click the link below to see whatever it might be. But make sure you've got a clear call to action. Live video is still really a powerful tool as well. And Facebook's probably one of the things that works best. Streaming live using either Facebook's native software, which means you stream it live in Facebook, or you use a third-party app like Zoom, which I'm streaming this right now to Facebook, but I'm streaming it through Zoom. So I'm using a third-party application. StreamYard is another one that's that I'm probably going to shift to that. Restream has an option. They're another company like that. I think there's another one called Livestream. So there's several sites out there. The Live is the best source for industry news, for changes, for things that are happening, current trends. How do you perceive a change that happened? If you wanted to talk about what was the, for example, you're in the financial side, the stock market side of things and reportings, and you go, well, it's, how does the Fed's action the other day, reflect on what we're thinking? Where do you think it's going to go? Give your opinion, give your analysis. Again, prove your expertise through that. So live video is a huge, huge tool. And then this is one that's coming out still. And I haven't seen it in the personal or my business page, but it's starting. Probably groups may have it more than that, but it's live audio rooms. So basically it's a audio chat real time with real voice. It's cool. It's kind of like live video in the fact that once you start live in an audio room, it posts to your timeline and people then see it that you're online and they can join in. That's also what happens with live video is when you go live, it shows that you're live and then people can click and join. So those are just some of the things, a few of the things that are new within Facebook, some strategies to use that seem to be effective and working. So keep those in mind, give them a try. If you have any questions, feel free, just check out. I'll have this posted later today on my websites. So you'll be able to, on my Thursday 30 website and probably on the Ninja Marketing Dojo site as well. You guys, a lot of you I've heard about the Novice to Ninja program that I'm putting together. I'm going to restart this again probably in February. So a lot of good information there. So if you watch for that, and if you guys need me, you got my information. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. If you've got any questions, you can pop those in the chat, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer. And if not, I think next week my topic we're going to talk about is scalable content, I believe is what I had set up. drew a blank and I couldn't remember exactly what I did, but I have it on there. But I think that's scalable content is what we're going to be talking about next week, and that will be creating content on multiple sources. How do you create content without spending a ton of time that none of us have? So watch for that. And if you don't have any questions, then we will see you guys. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully, and have a great weekend. We will see you then.